like, and she thought it was funny for 2 minutes, and then like on the third minute, it wasn't funny anymore. But it was, I mean, but it was very funny to me, just not to her. Which was I started walking around, and like as I was walking around, like I just had like happy scrolling on it with a smiley face emoji, and then I'm just walking around, and she said like, "Hey, can you like grab something?" And then when I came back into the room, it like said like annoyed.
Is that an app on your phone that you change that?
You can just type it in, like, and it's got like you can put emojis in. It's actually pretty cool.
That's pretty wild.
So, how can I do that? Once again.
I'm like 21,350 on the NQ if it can get up there. Because that'll be R1, I believe. Yeah, R1 and the 50 on the daily chart. That's kind of where I'm looking, which is close to R3 on most of the charts. Not exactly, but close.
Yeah, that sounds like a reasonable spot. Boom, boom, boom. All right. Ready? Watch this.
Oh yeah, I had to zoom in because it was a different picture. Tesla SPY, Qs, AMD, Nvidia, Tesla SPY, Qs. Yep.
Just have to go. Oh man, I miss it. It's great.
You could just go into BBT for like 2 minutes, put not say a word. They know your watch list, and then dip out.
This is the first day I've actually kind of hoped Andrew doesn't show up today. Just because I want to I'm just gonna log on and to the YouTube and just have my watch list script on my head. Be totally different. I was like, thank you very much. And $95 billion. The only thing annoying about this indicator right now is Bookmap doesn't want to save it.
I have that issue sometimes too, and sometimes it fixes it when I save it and then after I close everything out. Wait a minute, turn off my computer. Wait a minute, turn it back on, and that seems to fix it. I don't know for whatever reason why.
Why not? That makes sense.
Worth a shot. It's almost like plug it to, did you try plugging it, unplugging it and plugging it back in? Like
Right.
simple, something stupid, but it seems to work. I don't know.
I should save something. Save workspace stores. Workspace. Oh, 0125.1. Ah, you dink. I can do it. January 2025 version 1. I make up in January. I can change the version numbers. Did he say version? No.
So you're in the opera. You ever see Andrea Bocelli live?
Actually, I have once.
You have?
Yep, and it was amazing. It was a very long. It was quite a while ago. He was in the U.S. on tour, and it was the same tour where Celine sang with him. But I did not get to go to one where Celine sang with him. He had I don't remember. Unfortunately, that's kind of rude. But he had a Southern on that one, which was quite disappointing. But she was amazing. It was one of those back in high school.
Sarah Brightman done it with her before, or done it with him before with Conte Partiro.
That's awesome.
Just
We're
think
coming back
about
through
it.
the NQ is coming back through the 50 on you. Oh, let's see.
As of now, I'm quite a bit ways away from any action, it looks like. But we'll see.
Oh,
Kazoo, are you there?
Yeah, I'm on.
Did you have any tickers you're looking at this morning?
Nitro, NITO.
NITO?
Yeah. It's the only one. It was on this last push from 220 up to 240. But very small. It was very slow today.
I just like to know because I go back and forth with my brother and you sometimes.
Yeah, and there's not much else. There's like, if you're really into that really small stuff, but it costs me too much in commissions, which is TGL.
so you're saying size matters.
TGL is up 368%, but it's like, it started with nothing. And it just cost me too much in commissions to go that low.
That was always some difficulty I had getting into that realm. I think you handle it about as well as anybody I know. dealing with that commission structure. That's like, I don't even like trading tickers that are under $30. It just doesn't feel worth it, like, by the time I'm back to commissions. I mean, obviously that's not completely true, but yeah, you have to take like 2,000 shares of something or 3,000 shares. That's a lot, different than even with the tiering commissions.
Yeah, well, when it gets that low in price, just to make anything, you're not taking 2,000, you're up at like 10, 15,000 shares.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And
That's a lot of shares.
it sounds like a lot of shares, but the stock literally costs 25 cents.
True.
But you're getting dinged per share, so it ends up just not being worth it.
Yeah.
What was this at?
It's like I made $100, but I had $25 in commissions.
TGL, Tom, Gary, Lucy.
Thank you.
So, I just like others.
It started off in the morning, like in the pre-market, pre-market, at like 40 cents or 30 cents. I don't want to take 80, but it's not worth it for me to trade it. So like I'm literally sitting up on the day. $52 nitro. Nitro. Not much action on my side. It is a Friday. It is also the last day of Christmas vacation, holiday vacation, right? So it's I don't think there's going to be a ton of movement for us.
I don't think there's going to be a lot of volume in period today. I think today's a fairly wide range as well. So I could see today just kind of being like a lower volume kind of. I think the market's been doing a lot the past week. I could imagine that today the market just kind of goes.
Today's a breather.
Yeah, which is something to really be in tune with everybody. Like today could literally be the day. Like if you, I mean, I'm not saying it is that day. We haven't seen the open yet, but today could be the day where if you got some errands to run, it could end up being that day. But it's so don't get too committed to just making something happen. Really sit back, make sure it's got what Gazoo I think even maybe taught me in some regards as I was really making some of my advancements in my trading. Give the credit where it's due, is that performance is king. That you can overcome almost any adversarial situation with performance. And that's what his bot is. It's a performance engine. It's not that it's going to be right, but when it is right, it's the way it needs to be right. It does the damn thing every time.
And be wrong quick.
And when it's wrong, it figures that out pretty dang quick too. Gets done with it, and and then all the safeguards, obviously. But still, that was one thing I really took from seeing that whole process develop, and it was part of why I started switching my risk management the way I did, was because I was just like, it's really, I can overcome a whole lot of wrong as long as I do the right thing right. And then that's what I started doing, and sure enough, bam. It's just like okay. So, but yeah.
We all kind of pretty much know how to trade. What we gotta learn how to do is eliminate what we do wrong. There's a lot of self-reflection. That's hard. That's the hardest part of when you're working on yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I was in one of the working with one of the Padawans a couple of days ago, and I was saying something. I'm like, nobody told me when I started this I was going to have to become a better person. Like that wasn't in the book. I read the book. It didn't say, hey, by the way, this isn't going to actually be about your intellect. You're going to have to actually like change like the way I change you. I was like, if I had known that, I'm way too narcissistic to want to change.
I was talking about exactly this subject, and I was saying, no one starts off being really good at trading. Nobody does. In generally anything, no one starts off being really good. You have to let them suck really badly,
Right.
and screw up, and then sit there and work on yourself to get rid of all of that extra stress and pressure around it. And eventually, you'll get good. But you don't start off good. You can have a lucky hit and miss here and there, but in order to really learn to be good at anything, you need to learn how to be really bad at it. And then
I couldn't agree more. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Actually, if anything, when we talk about the whole Dunning-Kruger effect. You know what I mean, and all of that stuff. One of the things we talk about is, you know, there's that almost like that instant wins that you get is when you're a brand new trader, you're just so stupid. You just do crazy things, but oddly enough, the market often rewards crazy things until it doesn't. Right? When it doesn't, it just decimates your account. But it'll reward you a few times, and then all of a sudden you lose your account that's big, and then reality, you know, the reality comes slamming in, and then you know, you're playing, and then all of a sudden, then you want to lean back on something, and all you have is behavioral issues. You have no real technique underneath it, and you're just like, oh. That's what happened to me, by the way, a little bit. When I came in, I went live as quickly as I did because I was crushing it with Sim. What I didn't realize is I was crushing it with Sim because I was doing all kinds of stupid crap I wasn't going to be willing to do once I went live. And then as soon as I went live, I was like, okay, I'm not going to do that. You know, I can't hold that long. And all of a sudden, I'm like, okay, I'm not doing much more crap. So then I started doing stupid stuff.
And then it messes with your psychology.
Yeah. Well, and then I started doing stupid stuff because I wasn't making the money I thought I should have been making after going live. All of a sudden, I'm like, well, there went that account. That was fun. Really nice. Really enjoyed that. But kind of like you said, I think everyone has to really just kind of, as much, and I'm sorry for everyone who hasn't screwed up really badly. We're really hoping this doesn't happen to you. I'm just, you know, I don't know if I've met a successful winning trader that hasn't really sucked at the beginning that had a real big blow up.
How much did you lose on that first account?
It was a CMAG account that I had funded offshore, and it was funded with $5,000. So, and I disappeared in about 2 weeks, and then I refunded another five and almost disappeared. And I got that one down to about, and it was basically worthless. So I put another 3 into it. So I think I had originally funded it about 13 total, and then I started making some progress, but it was really, really slow progress. Like, you know, $50 a day, you know, something like that. But it, you know, it started to work, and once things started going, and I started feeling more comfortable, I actually more funding and got myself over DBT and got an IBKR account, because the problem with CMEG, when I started with CMEG's fees were horrible. Like, I mean, just horrible. It's when I actually, ironically enough, when I switched to DOS, was when I switched to IBKR, because I was using DOS. When I switched to IBKR, was the same time CMEG switched their fees. And then got a lot cheaper. I was like, son of a gun, you could have told me about that like 3 days ago. But anyway.
I'm still with them, so like the commission, and the fee is not that bad now.
Mm. That's what I'm saying. It was literally like 1 week after I switched to IBKR and went through that whole process. I was fairly happy with the other ones. I didn't have any issues with executions. I had zero issue in anything with them. I had nothing bad to say about them.
And I never had a slippage too.
But
like with CMEG, I never had a slippage.
Interesting.
I have,
So maybe even feels good. Maybe even it feels better.
I sometimes question the slippage I get on IPKR, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I just sometimes I'm not getting filled, and I'm just like, what the hell is going on here?
It's like, come on, IBKR, like you're better than this. You know what I mean? You're better than this.
Okay.
What's going
I started
He's
off
pulling off all the way to R3 right now.
I've mentioned this before. I started off doing really well at the first like 2 weeks and made a shitload of money, and then for about 3 years lost 80% of that.
Yeah.
As I learned how to trade, and
Oh.
I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Hold on, I got a screenshot I wanted to share with you guys because this shit just made me laugh. Hold on, I'm gonna post this on the Medellin channel.
My first account was 25,000.
Or actually, maybe I'll put it in. Yeah, Medellin channel. Whoops. I think this is it. Okay. Oh, let me pull it up now.
That is.
This guy, I don't know. I'm sorry. I really should just unfollow him, but he provides so much like I guess that's why people follow him. Just provides so much ridiculous content. So here's what I just posted. So all right, help me with the math here. Yay, that's really awesome. Goal coming into 224 was to recover the $1 million drawdown from 2022 and 2023. So in this 2-year period of time, he lost $1 million. This year, he made $1 million. Hey, he has a really high hit rate. And he finished 53 out of the 50 out of the last 53 days green. In 3 years, this guy has made whatever $0.11 million is. 100K or something like 100K or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 110K in 3 years. I have personally made significantly more money trading than Mataz has made in the same period of time.
Well, you know, Matt has problems, right? His losses are
huge
phenomenal.
blow-ups.
Yeah.
Huge blow-ups. But this is what I'm saying. If you're not control, because the thing is he tries to do kazoo level crap. He trades low floats and he gets caught in these massive washouts that Gazoo just laughs at. Like they're just so obvious, and he sees them coming from such a long way away.
He doesn't know how to take his hands off the wheels when it's low volume for us. That's what kills almost all of us.
And he runs really high share quantity.
Yeah.
Like hundreds of thousands of shares.
There's no stop loss. You know?
And I will guarantee his comms are probably not factored into that number.
You generally don't run stop losses when you trade in the low floats because they show up and the market makers will sweep them. When you're talking about this much volume of shares,
Yeah, it'd be a massive order set.
yeah, you don't run a stop loss there.
My brother uses stop losses. But
You got to be
he's
careful
doing
with that because
very
the market
small
maker
size.
bots can't see them. And what happens is and this is the thing, because your stop loss, and I know this from a market maker, this is straight shit right here. Because the stop loss is likely at an odd or uneven increment, like it's not being put at an institutional level, like retailers, that's what we do. It's so stinking obvious to the market makers where we are because you buy an odd number and your stop goes into an odd number. Institutions don't buy odd numbers. Institutions buy even numbers, right? They buy at 0, 5, 10, 20, 25. So if all of a sudden you've got like, I don't know, like 4,000 or 5,000 shares and it's sitting at $1.13. You know what I mean? Then they're gonna hunt that all day.
Well, we all use stop losses.
Right. That's why you want to hide it behind the institutional number.
Okay.
So when you go long, you stick it. So you got to make them commit to eating the biggest order to come get to you. And at that point, you can't control it. Or in the low float environment, because see, for you and me, even 5,000 shares on a high cap may not be worth the effort. You know what I mean? Like a $20 high cap. Right, because you got to remember what is the difference between a low float and a high float, right? Or a high, it's the float is the number of shares the market makers are inventory have in their warehouse. All the shares that are in the market all belong to people, and the market makers are not interested, so they don't think they're going to move. So when the volume hits the book, this is why the price goes far, because the market makers have to fulfill order requests off the book. And if the only sellers that are available are $20 above the price, well, if people want to buy and they're buying on market orders, the market maker is going to all the way up the book. right, and get to $20 in a hurry, why not? Right? Because the market maker is going to buy whatever they can, hit all the way up to there, and then sell. But this is why those gamma squeezes like went all crazy because the market makers weren't leveraged, and then a ton of volume, like more volume than I think they had ever seen in their entire lives, came through roaring kitty style in the market, and shit got crazy. You know what I mean? So, but we gotta. So there's no in the high cap environment. Our 300 shares or our 500 shares are on a lower price one, even 4,000 or 5,000 shares aren't noticeable. But in an environment where there is no float and the market makers need shares, if you put a big amount of shares out there, they're gonna go get them. You know what I mean? They're gonna run down and go get them. So if you're throwing stops out there, honestly, they know where your stop. Coming at you. Right under R3, but we've got a little bit too much bid on the book, or sorry, a little bit too much asked on the book. There's a lot of bull. See what I mean? We just had a little bit too much asked on the book. All right.
I did a sketchy arm long
Nice.
on with settings. I know it's without, but
I had a feeling. I was like, this feels like a sketchy R1 long day. It works really nice on these wide range days like this. You know what I mean? I find on the wider range days like this, they work very nicely.
it happens on the lower range days too for some reason.
Lower wider maybe. Good stuff. Morning.
My all out is, I'm sorry, what's that? My all out is 21367.
Oh.
Oh, then you should still be.
We've got a lower range R3 ETH is right near here. Or we just got
Yeah,
really
yeah, I see
close
that.
to the top stuff.
Oh,
See if they go sweep for you.
What's up, Al? How are you?
I'm good, man. I didn't say plays, yo. I just stuck my stop in the wick of that 4 hour underneath all those 15-minute candles, and that
Yeah.
was, I mean, you see
You
this.
see the order block? You see the order block on the 1 hour though? Stop dead and it started reversing there.
I saw it on
You should go higher.
the 5 minute.
There's
Look on the
definitely
hour.
a seller on NQ here.
Yeah.
They just ran right into them like a ton of bricks. It doesn't mean they're not going to buy through though. I'm just saying there's a seller there.
Yeah,
But actually, their buy volume is actually quite good right now.
Yeah, I like the volume. Yeah.
I'm gonna have one. DOS's hardcore is not as good as mine. I mean, it could be. It's a good game.
Ooh. Ram got it with a really nice.
I don't really like it.
Oh, okay.
I just feel like to be that young, like the big family, good trade, it's not appropriate.
So Graham kind of took the same trade. He took it a little lower than us, but he got billed 5.25 hour. He's at work. So can't be with us today. He's at work and he made 5.25 hour.
Yeah, it's like it's so tough to be in a brand.
Yeah, no. Wow. So Alexa went down to the 1 day distribution level, bought up from there and went to the 1 day D plus or plus D right now, right? Is that what it shows? L?
Yeah.
Wow. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, that tool is showing you statistically over the last 60 sessions where it's manipulated, where it's distributed.
And then the numbers, that's those are
The daily and the weekly.
but the number minus 4.5, minus 4, those are standard deviations.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Okay. So Ryan went down to his minus 4.5 standard deviation reversed and went all the way up to the 1 day plus D distribution level.
Yeah, but that calculation is also something different than, you know what I mean? Like it's
So
those,
that was yesterday?
that was yesterday. Those deviation
Oh,
levels.
I knew it was gonna show something like that. But I was thinking they go down to like a 1 week or a 1 month distribution, but maybe it only draws in the beginning of the month since the new month. I'm not sure how it works. You killed it yesterday, right?
Yeah, yesterday was, yeah.
Very good.
I think I might be being too picky today because I had such a fun day. I had such a fun day, a good start to the year, and I had such a strong close to last year. It's like now I'm just kind of like every time I keep looking at something, I'm just like, yeah, not enough. So
Well, Thor, it's funny you say that. Like, that's what I went through yesterday, and I had to really kind of stop myself, where it was like, do not do this. You know what I mean? Do not push. Like, be happy.
oh yeah, exactly. That's kind of where I'm at now. I'm watching ES right now to see kind of how we're it's in a lower range and we're up in the selling range now up near the three. So I'm starting to look to see if if maybe we find our seller that we've been looking for up here. I think they're hunting a seller. So, but they're because the volume's not fantastic on this push.
You know,
I mean, you're only
it's
talking about
funny.
like a few thousand contracts a minute as they went up. It wasn't like it was like the
On instrument settings, it's actually a higher range day for some reason. And we're almost R4, which would be the place to look for the short. So you might get a good chance for it. Shorting.
Yeah, I mean, well, I mean, it'll be interesting because if R3 and the two are, it often happens where they'll be in the similar areas. You know, it's instrument settings R4 near whatever's R3.
But I'll try a short there. If we can't get above R4, I'll risk 1R. Like you say, on days that you're doing well, you should give yourself a couple more shots.
Okay. Oh, I agree with that. Yeah. Oh. Oh, Yeah. Oh,
And it's 40 on a month. Can anyone math that for me? Because I really suck at math. 200 times 40. 8K. So that's 8K a month. What's 8 times 12? 96. A year.
That's killer.
I mean, I live in Florida. You can do pretty good at 96K a year. But now, every time, now this is the fun part. Let's say you end up getting into, the 50 category or the 60 category, right? 50-50, you lose a loser, right? But you gain a winner. So now instead of being, averaging at 10R, you're actually averaging at 15R, right? That 15R becomes 60R, right? So just by going up 1% on your winners, right? You'll go from 40R to 60R, right? And this is why I'm at this is why I was like at 80R, even though I a couple of months ago, because I just ran a high hit rate that month. Not even, it was a 60% hit rate. I used to run 90% hit rates and make 30R a month and 25R a month. You know what I'm saying? Like I used to run the most amazing hit rates of all time. And I wouldn't make anywhere near this money. But even with just 40% hit rate with 200 risk, you know what I mean? You can make that. And that is like super reasonable. And you don't have to get a 90% hit rate. You just gotta be right like 4 out of every 10. You know what I mean? Which isn't, which isn't bad. So anyway.
I don't know if you remember, Thor, before you were my mentor, I was sending you like screenshots and my hit rates and all that. But one time I was at like 90% hit rate, but I was basically, what I was doing was as soon as I started seeing green, I started partialing out.
Yep.
And my
You and I
P&L
shared
was
the
just,
experience.
yeah, my P&L was just not, it was not what I wanted, but I had like a 90% hit rate.
Yeah, that was you and me, buddy, together. You and me together, man. Oh, come on. Woo, baby! R3 in a low range. Let's go.
Hey, Thor, have you ever thought about doing the 1% of your account? So every trade, let's just say you have $50,000. 1% of that is $500. So you're risking 500 per trade. As well as you trade, the way that you trade, you would turn your account into exponentially. It would grow to like $1 million in the first year by adding 1% a day.
Yeah, that would be interesting. I'd have to look more into it. It's and see, I have a scaling metric that I give myself the option to scale if I want to, and I basically do it at every 20 trades as long as my hit rate stays above 40% and my profit rate stays at a 4R. That I can scale if I want to. Ironically enough, I just have chosen not to. And the reason I think if I wasn't mentoring and working with other traders, I would be more profit focused. It's MQ short target hit. So still holding the ES short. Hoping the fingers are crossed. This one keeps going. Yeah. Man, futures this freaking week have just been gangster for me. It needs.
Yesterday was really fun, huh? Up and down, up and down. Everything matched the pivots yesterday really well.
Really?
Hey, so did you ever get your payout from Apex?
No, I still haven't got
You want me to-
Not that I'm gonna resubmit again. I just haven't resubmitted for in a while. I actually got a notification from them saying that if I didn't start using my account again, that they were gonna close it.
Yeah, I got that from Top Step too.
And I was like, oh my God. So I actually loaded it back up and sent a couple trades into it the other day and I think I threw like $100 in it just so it's still active.
I'll
So,
go visit the Apex offices and break someone's teeth if you want.
right, let's do it together. We can be on the news. Let's go blow up a Cybertruck in their lobby.
No, I don't need that. I didn't see my.
I'm so sorry. Discord. I am just kidding. I know they've got some listening bots on this. I would never freaking do that ever. I'm so sorry. That was not
Be
tasteful
very careful on Discord.
at all. Although hilarious. Very hilarious. Not
It's a
tasteful.
joke. It's a good joke. It was a good
All
joke.
jokes, Discord. Jokes, Discord.
Which was some pretty big sticks of dynamite, hypothetically.
There's news at 10. I don't know if anybody cares.
Yeah. Let's see what there is. I remember yesterday there was US ISM manufacturing PMI, which is a red letter event.
Yeah, it can definitely do some. Let's hope it wicks down and hits my ES target. Wow.
Also, so that's my 10 o'clock manipulation, and it came on Trigger chart too. So yeah, the manipulation lines up with 10 o'clock noon. So
Honestly, I need to get that. I gotta get this upgraded properly and get
the
some.
new one's full. Yeah,
No, I did upgrade, but every time I try and load the new one in, it can't find where my files are. It just gets calls me those. I don't know why I coded that. It's like moron.
ISM and manufacturing.
In IT, we call it an ID 10T error. Don't get it.
Wow, Nvidia's at 143. Yeah, I bought Nvidia, by the way. It's the only thing I had in my long-term account. You can't hold a good stock down like that.
I took my second trade long. I took my second trade long. And I got for Nvidia. And now I ended
This looks like $5 already.
I already hit first one. Like now I'm second trade. I'm almost 10 cents away to get my
Great
Very
job.
nice.
Proud of you.
Yeah, like it's, I see the order book. 144. Yeah, I got the 8 hour today.
Nice. Yeah, 8R. Come on now. That is a feat.
Let's go.
I got the first trade I took it R4 breakout.
Yeah, that makes
On
sense.
that, so like, I don't know because it doesn't align with.
That has the best cam. The, if you see it on Dot's cam. you can
Yeah,
tell.
I mean, so the DOS, I know for a fact that the architect of DOS's back end, when they were putting their cams in, he was in direct communication with one of the server architects in Citadel. And the only reason and this is the part I cannot confirm, but it's the only thing that makes sense, is because I've even asked Robin if she, because Robin used to be one of ours, and she works for DOS's support team now. I asked her, like, can you mole in there and tell me this stuff? She actually gave me the NDA speech. She said I can't share that information. And I said, you don't know. I'm like, you don't know. If you knew, you would tell me. I'm like, don't act like that. No, okay. No, but anyway. So, but yeah. So it's but that's the reason why they work so stinking good. So if especially if Citadel is involved in the traffic, Citadel does about a third of the market traffic on any given ticker at any given time, depending on if they do or not. They can massive flow. Those guys carry so much inventory. I forget what it was. It was hundreds of billions worth of inventory across all the various sectors. That's why you can hit the sell button and immediately someone says, okay, because of those big boys. Wouldn't be possible without them. That's the only thing a lot of people get like upset about. They're like, well, this is unfair, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, couldn't do it without them. Hey, give me 1 second. I'm going to go back before the license.
Oh,
All right. Made it. That was fast. I can run up and down the stairs faster than you know. All right, here comes volume.
There we go. There we go.
Oh, come on. Just don't go up.
Went up and then went down like drastically. That's what the numbers are. Manufacturing PMI 493, forecast was 482.
But what does it mean?
Let me ask, let me ask the
Hold on, let me get over to Q's, yes, book. R3 on that win.
U.S.
Lower range R3.
Manufacturing PMI, or Purchasing Managers Index, is a monthly indicator of economic activity in the United States. Based on a survey conducted by the Institute of Supply Management. A value above 50 indicates expansion, while a value below 50 indicates contraction. So it came out 49.3, pretty close to the 50, and above expectations, so it's good. I think it's good. So the U.S. economy is expanding, what it's saying, a little bit more than expected.
That means inflation.
There's a pops and drop though.
The order book is relatively in balance right now. There isn't really like a clear indication just on the PS that I'm seeing of obvious intention. We are in a wider range, we're in a selling range. So if I'm in a balanced book with no obvious direction, and selling it in a wide range, probably going to go short.
Yeah.
And I'm already short, so I'm just going to stay short. Oh, take off. I'm gonna take off. Oh, never mind. I can hang out. Yeah, that's great. I can hang. All right, so I'm wondering if what I may do, because there's a news event, if the ES rallies here, I may go ahead and just take it off if it comes back up to my break even.
Yeah,
And then if it resets in the right range, I may get back in.
Oh,
Especially
good
since I
idea.
hit a full target on in Q.
yeah, probably.
I just like, well, I don't know. I guess I can afford the loss.
The thing, so
I
I'm
was
seeing
seeing
relative
maybe
each
having
line.
come right up, stop me out and run directly. I'll probably explode it.
It's got a big bubble, green bubble, and you just got a buyer here. 200, wow, 212 lots, so 2,120 contracts.
The buying and selling is still fairly in balance for that.
Oh,
It just has been short term, like over the past couple of months.
On the hourly, I see relative equal highs at 429, so that's kind of a trap.
So basically, like with me zoomed here showing 5 minutes, this volume here becomes a CVD indicator. At a 5 minute CVD, basically. So that's
Oh,
pretty
thanks,
cool.
Mark. I saw it. I got the payment.
Oh,
For some reason, it just showed up today. It's a, well, thank you. Oh, it was yesterday.
I like that you didn't need it. Not.
Yeah.
All right, here comes a little bit of. So they're going to come up and sweep. Now the question is, are they going to set this high and then sweep this high?
Yeah. Well, we have like, so I have big, like relative equal highs on the hourly, and when I see that, yeah, that's a market maker.
Look at that. Look. The order book actually did go slightly. Is going slightly bullish right now. So there, and we do have more buying than selling. So the price is going up. Right back to R3.
That's probably going to yesterday's high. That's well,
oh.
Cool.
right? They're chicken people trying to get you to go short, just only to knock them out at the last minute. Watch. Chicken, it's chicken. I just stopped them all out. People that tried to go short and put this out there.
Sons of guns. So the question is what I like to do is watch that high.
Yeah.
Like I like to
Oh, yeah.
see how much volume comes in when they pierce that high.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
If they did that, it's probably going the opposite direction, right? Which is short.
Like normally if they pierce and it comes with a lot of volume, that shows more than if they pierce and you just see basically no reaction whatsoever. Seeing it go into that, whoa, I just had a green thing up here on my ninja chart that I've never seen before.
Maybe it's part of.
It's like a big bracket with a green dot in it.
Oh, that's part of Sergey's. That's I think that shows the ATR beach candle. The Sergey.
Oh.
It's pretty cool.
Oh.
I don't see him in here right now. Yeah, I think that's part of Sergey's thing.
Cool. I was rolled over too far the other direction.
Yeah, Sergey made this new indicator called Magic Numbers. It basically shows like relative equal highs or lows on your chart. So it draws like a little line with like a diamond above it, showing it's possible for that. I love it. I always think we're gonna add so much value to the fit announcement. No one else has these indicators, only us. Right?
No, I mean this is where you get the cool. This is where you get the latest and the greatest.
The latest and the greatest. See? Now we're going opposite, like after breaking up that other. But they usually manipulate both ways, so we'll see what they do. Because we got yesterday's high just above us. Seems like it wants over there.
Oh, no. Oh,
And I think this comes out yet this high.
We're still holding. I'm just thinking. Amazon in the right spot, wicking up for. Goes forward here. Awesome.
I mean, we took out that, like a
Here,
weekly,
it's
it's actually a monthly low we took out, yesterday.
The problem is our order books are still a little bullish.
Yeah,
So we're still not quite showing that they brought in the bid yet. So it's not that it's a long, it might not actually be a long yet, but it's not necessarily a short yet either.
right.
You know what I mean? This is like the difference between the where and the when. You know what I mean? Right now we're certainly in a where. I'm not really, I don't think there's really a when yet. Like I haven't seen enough volume to really make me think we're doing a big hard reversing. But this is where it should happen if it's done.
On the without settings, we can't break above our four.
Well, this is, yeah,
On the book above it.
I mean, there's a lot of correlation to this area. Most of your tech tickers are all getting fairly exhausted to the top side as well and not breaking out. They've all tried to break out, they all failed. The news, for the record, hasn't brought in a great deal of volume. Actually, if anything, I feel like that rally was rather disingenuous. Like that push on the ES, for instance, back up to R3 for an engulfing bar on that side. I think that was a grab. I think they just came up and swept everyone that had been getting in from basically 950 all the way through kind of
Right.
He was thinking the market was getting this year, and then they just came up and just took everybody out. But they might go up another level and sweep the next high as well.
Yeah. Well, it seems like they want to draw on yesterday's high because that's where there's tons of liquidity just above it.
Yeah.
Anyone that tried to short yesterday. So large time frame players, they play the daily samples and the weeklies and monthlies. So their stops are about the daily highs.
Oh,
Actually, there's another level too. The day before, we might have but 2152475. So that could actually be the final target.
oh, I gotta talk to you.
Still holding ES, and I went ahead and shorted in Q since it gave me a pullback to do it again.
Nice.
Over and over and over again. It's what I do.
Oh, come on. Target.
Wow.
I went right above the high of the indecision candle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't intentional, just ATM strategy, but I got in on it and it just pops my stop right above there. The absorption was really clean. Okay, now I'm definitely holding the ES trade. This one's a really pretty trade. See what I mean? Look at the large, good volume. I don't like that it bought up so much, but.
Yeah.
I mean, I got tons of range here. Downside. Like if we go short here, if we're going short here, my ATR to the downside is only 3. So this is definitely crucial. It would have been nice if we were a little closer to our top side. Whatever. I'm feeling. I like how it didn't go. Like it got up here and really got hung up.
Yeah.
Good, and then look, notice the buy candles when we got the green candles and the high volume. See what I mean about the disingenuous? Like, see, like how big this was and how, the volume was relatively low for such a big candle. And then we have 2 indecision candles, and those are almost on equal volume to that big candle. They couldn't go anywhere. Then high volume sell candle, right? And then they tried to push and our volume dropped.
Yeah, that big white candle at 10, if it was real, it should have made another one of those quickly afterwards. And it didn't. It just kind of lost momentum on side and rolled over.
Mm-hmm. Man, good stuff, man. You guys got I think we might have to start coming off the word sketchy R1 long, because I think you've used it and it's worked too many times.
Yeah.
To call it the sketchy one. All right, so I also shorted Amazon.
Nice.
Let me show you this real
Okay.
quick. Look at the daily chart.
Yeah.
Look at the top. 50 poor man's
Yeah.
trend line on the daily chart. Look at that 50 SMA wick. That's ridiculous. I don't know. That's pretty wild to see it that tight.
Sure. That R1 play, when you have a pre-market that sets up the market, you know what I mean? The way that today did, where they clearly just accumulated for, the whole entire night, and then they have to move. That is easily by far the most profitable trade for me.
Yeah, I was talking to Al about that. He's been playing it.
I think on especially on like the lower wider range like we had today, especially when that area of the range ends up being kind of near a really obvious support or like a high value area. I think that definitely makes it. When I put my whole strategy together back in the day, I because I was trying to create I didn't want to write a book with 30 plays in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I wanted to write a book with basically I chose my 6 best plays long and my 6 best plays short. And actually when I was short, there was a play that was actually a little bit better than my S4 trending breakdown. That happened more often, and it was the center out one, but I decided not to include the lower range center out because I didn't want to devote an entire another section to a play that still really only happened let's say out of every 100 trading days, maybe 3 or 4 when I did it. Now, as of today, I don't think that stat's true. I think something has changed a little bit in the market since then.
Yep.
And I think that center out because of the market being so bullish for such a long time, I think the center out has become more effective than it was. I just still, because you have to write a book and teach it to people. It's nice, easier to have a thing. Hit 2. I am currently short Amazon. I hit 2 ES. I'm sorry, 2 NQ shorts and holding.
So I sent you a picture of the 4 hour and 15. I just took my stop right at the bottom. When we opened, and you could just the range was very clear to see that they built. They swept it real quick right before we started, and then I just stuck my stop right, like right low in that 4 hour candle, as low as I could get it, and then it took off. If it didn't take off and it came right through, then I was structurally wrong, and they were going to break it to the downside. But
Yeah, I like that a lot.
I like it a lot.
I like it a lot. So that makes a lot of sense. See, and that's the thing. Like for me, all that's really important in the long run, right? My job here is to try and teach everyone the overriding structure of the market and how it works, and then to kind of give you the way I interact with it. But understanding that you're gonna find your own, things that really like work and make sense for you, and that's like I say, that's why I'm not a pivot tater, and force everybody to do exactly what I want to do. Because it's important that people account for what works for their personality. So and for me, man, it's like as long as you can take the trade and the trade makes sense to you, and it's something you could reduplicate later in time based upon a similar criteria set, shit, go for it. As long as it's not going to shake your psychology, you know what I mean? And at this point, hopefully it's not.
no, we were right at a weekly distribution level, which is discount. You would be fine with that if I wrote that off as a trade. You're in the right spot.
Here's that indicator I was talking about.
Oh, I like that.
It's like I think it's the ATR per candle, the average ATR. If it adds up all the different candles, I think over probably maybe a 14 look back, I'd imagine. So that's the average candle size. So if you're gonna go short, like one thing to keep in mind, is if it goes from here all the way to here, you don't want to go short here. You know what I mean? Like because you don't, because what's gonna happen if you go short, you want to go short up here, or you want to go short down here, or because if you go short here at this break,
Oh,
then you're gonna run right into the candle low. So this is why you want to get like indecision and go here, because then your ATR is gonna give you some distance before it hits. See, like if you get short there, now you can get down to here, and then see if it
that was
bounces.
saving so many bad entries.
Right? It's nice.
Yeah.
Now he's got something else going on here. When it gets next near the level, it actually starts throwing like red circles and stuff. If it's selling, once it starts, what is, Lauren, do you know what that was? I forgot. It's like it's an indicator, like when it starts going dots, 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 dots as it's moving. Look pretty badass. All right, come on, Amazon. Look at that, Amazon. I ran a wide stop. I ran it all the way about 224.50. Chicken. It was my first equity position of the day. So now I gotta do this incredible. Not really, just like through PDC. It's not too much. Come on, yes. Rude. Too soon. Andrew's talking about his money or something, and then at the end of it, Brian just negates the whole thing by saying, "Yeah," and then a quarter of it goes to his ex-wife. And Andrew's total demeanor just goes. And then I type into the chat room, "Too soon?" Question. Yes, it is. It's too soon. Jerks. Oh, come on. You can do it. How do you spell Vizier? Vizier?
I don't know. I don't even know what the word is.
Like a wizard, but an advisor.
I've never heard that word in my life.
You're right. It would be a V. You're right. It'd be
No,
Vizier. Vizier.
What dear? Just mean a minister.
Right. You're right. I'm wrong because I got a V. No V there, buddy. Nobody's gonna screw up this language by throwing a V.
Man, I was a gamer for so long, like a computer gamer, RPGs, and I've never heard that word before. I can't believe it.
It's specific to like Egypt. Like it was the advisor to the advice. I don't know why I know that word, but I am a walking dictionary. Or I know so many like. Before, and I'm like, no, you don't understand. Like, if I could get all of the useless knowledge that is just crammed into my brain, I would be like, oh. And I'm like, but instead, it's full of American species.
Good one for you, Thor. You are a very erudite mentor.
Erudite. I like that one. I don't know if I know erudite.
It means very, very well studied, well read.
Oh, yes.
Studious.
Or showing great knowledge for them.
What was that, Drew?
Studious.
They call it a know-it-all where I come from. And
It's a nice way of saying know it all, huh?
You're omnipotent.
Speaking of know-it-all, before I go to my meeting, I was trolling somebody on my Facebook in the Jeep Gladiator forum I belong to because that's what I do for entertainment. And I was in there and someone posted in there like my auto start keeps shutting on and off all the time. What's going on? So this guy Scott posts in there. It's how hard you're pressing the brake pedal. If you press the brake pedal too hard, and the guy's like, well, it didn't do that when I was in my drive-through with the dealer. It wasn't doing all that. And then so I commented, what's probably happened is your driving habits changed. I'm like, when you were in the dealer, you're probably soft pedaling everything. And I'm like, but now you're probably coming in really hard into your stops. So you're triggering the fuel economy management system more often. And then some dude comments on it and goes, this is absolutely wrong. He He goes, what happened is when you were at the dealer, your air conditioning was running and blah, 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 and all this stuff. And he says, the only thing that's partially correct is if you put too much pressure on the pedal, it will make it engage more often. And then, so of course, my response to that is, so after saying this was entirely incorrect, I was like, you then said it was correct. And I'm like, and then of course I'm a jerk. So I said, how about next time you just say, hey, those guys are right. Then add your useless knowledge about the air conditioner, which wouldn't have been a factor there, and then be a peach and move on or something like that. So then I got into a nice like troll Twitter battle back and forth with them, which was quite entertaining for at least 15 minutes. But you don't do it for fun. What are you gonna do? I need to make sure that the features are on my watch list. I'm not in love with this pullback, but it was on. Look how low the volume. How's my-
So I know one of the longest, biggest words in the American language, I think. Pneumano ultramicroscopic silicovolcanoconiosis.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. I
That's
thought you were
a
going to do
really long one.
I thought you were going to do supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
No, that's not a real word. The
I know.
pneumano ultramicroscopic silicovolcanoconiosis is a disease caused by the inhalation of quartz dust. Miners used to get it.
Oh. So yeah, this is one of the things I try to do, and this is how you can know. This is how you know I was in musical theater when I was young, because I can say supercalifragilisticexpialidocious and docious aliesbsp
Whoa.
That's backwards.
So there are certain things. There's certain things in my life that I hear that I hope I don't remember because I don't want to lose a precious thought by remembering something.
And that was it. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Both of those words. And
Yeah.
they put so much
You
space.
need to take some stuff out of your memory to remember new stuff.
You're like, great. I just forgot ABCD patterns.
No, I just forgot my daughter's first birthday because of that stupid supercalifragilistic thing.
This is where your wife comes up and goes, and what's our anniversary? And then you go, docious aliexbsp. Oh crap.
Yeah.
You glitched out in front of your wife.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, I'll be back in about a half hour. I'm gonna grab some food.
All right, buddy. I'll talk to you later. I'm gonna run too. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
All right, so thank you. All kinds of fun today, huh?
Yeah, I'm shooting in Boonia again, so I like use my service to it.
Very nice.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see 1.2. Because the ATR upside like was done.
That's a big problem. I like that you use the ATR to determine injury.
Yeah, because when I look at the single term, the one so high. And I looked at the second truth actually when I took it long. I took it over the 15-minute fair value gap.
Okay.
Was long. That's my second trade. And I see if he hits the second fair value gap, like, this was gonna be my stop, 140 to 50. There's a lot of order downside now. I'm getting there.
Like it wants to keep going up, but let's see what happens here.
बिल्कुल। एक मिनट रुको।
So we kind of have relative equal highs on the daily on NQ around the 500 level. Kind of looks like it wants to go draw on liquidity up there. Well, it's going to drop off the liquidity that it collected
Oh.
yesterday. Where it swept monthly lows. That's a beautiful cat, Shajiro, in your profile pic. Is that a Persian? Looks like a Persian.
Oh, thank you. It's a ragdoll.
Oh, I love ragdolls. Oh my! So, does he do the ragdoll thing where he or she just kind of flops in your arms when you hold him?
Yeah, and
Oh, I love those cats.
actually, they follow you around everywhere and play fetch and stuff. It's really
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I used to have a cat. Oh yeah, it was I had a Maine Coon,
oh yeah,
a
they're also.
black one. But yeah, he would play fetch too. It was so cute.
I know they're so cute. Thank you.
You're welcome.